comments. First things first, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Mason. They came out and played with a lot of energy and played very physical. They out-rebounded us in the second half in particular. And then they went through a stretch where they really shot the ball. And I think if you look at 6 for 12 from the three-point line and the rebound margin, I think you got to kind of take your hat off to them for the effort they had today. They just came off of a tough one and regrouped pretty good, and that's kind of what we're going to have to do with these 4 games in a week. You don't have much time to sit around and figure out what's wrong. You got to go figure out what's right. So we've had some good moments, and this is not an easy place to play. It's much like our home court where you got to do something pretty special to come in there and get a win. And I thought we were in position just prior to halftime. I thought it was a critical juncture. We had a couple of point-blank looks that we didn't finish. And then, of course, they get the one that rolls in at the buzzer, so kind of a shift in momentum there. If we could have got to the locker room with a few points in our pocket, I thought that would have been good. But all in all, you're gonna take your hat off to George Mason's performance today.
What changed in the second half that this got out of hand?
Well, I thought we got slightly frustrated. The ball was going in for them, and it wasn't for us. And the game was well officiated, and I'll take those 3 guys anytime. But we had a few plays where all of a sudden whistle doesn't blow, they dunk, and that kind of those 4 and 5 point swings. It frustrated our guys just a little bit because we really wanted to play a good game and have it go down to the wire.
There was an intensity late in the game that we didn't see, in the second half, that we didn't see earlier in that second half. Did you say something to the team, or is it just
an intensity in our guys, or
on your play, on yours?
Well, I'd like to think we played pretty hard. I think we're a prideful bunch, and so I think when you get in a spot like that, you got a couple choices. You can start battling a little more, and we tried. We got to I think we got to 12 and got a wide open 3-point shot that we missed. And it was about 3 minutes to go, and I thought if we could get to single digits, we might be able to make a game of it. But you turn around and you miss, and they make, and all of a sudden you're chasing them down the stretch. So I don't know exactly the stretch you're talking about, because I thought we played a pretty good first half. To tell you the truth, I thought we did some pretty good stuff in the first half, and then of course we're 15 minutes to go, tied 39, I believe, something like that. And we'd been down 39-35 and got back into it. And at that point, we needed to probably be a little more opportunistic to let them make another run like that and then have to chase down the stretch.
Well, you guys hang your hat on defense. Was there something that they did better than other teams had done, or was it your guys, or a combination?
Well, I don't want to be too much of a smart aleck, but I told our guys they didn't score on our defense, they scored on our offense. And a couple of them looked at me kind of funny, and my point there is, for instance, Gerald Lee has a real nice open shot that back irons. They end up dunking. Well, our defense wasn't back and set. Had we scored some more baskets in the second half, I think we'd been able to get our defense set, and it could have done a better job of defending them. I think if you look at the stat sheet and combine, pretty good night shooting the ball from 3, but I mean, how many runouts and dunks and did they have? And I think that's where that kind of tipped the scales.
How about you don't see ODU very often? Is a 3-point game a big part of your offense routinely? I mean, you were 2 of 12, I think, tonight.
We would shoot about that number, and some games, have made a bunch. When we beat Georgetown, we were pretty hot from the line, and it was the same guy shooting them tonight. Finney in the Georgetown game, I think might have been 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. So we just had a little tougher time there getting the ball in the hole, and the 3-point, line can be kind of fool's gold. Some nights it's the reason you don't win, and another night you think, oh wow, this is the greatest. And we try to hang our hat on defense. We try to board the ball. I think you got to compliment them. They played good defense, and they outboarded us. And then as a result, some of these offensive things that they got, give them credit certainly. But I think some of them, they kind of got out on us playing poor offense during those stretches.
You mentioned the Radford loss. They got kind of exposed inside. It seemed like a different team in the paint tonight defensively for them.
Well, they had, both have 8 steals. They have or block shots. I mean, our last game we played against Duquesne, which is a real good team, we had 12 block shots in that game ourselves. So, I mean, I thought they were very physical in the paint. I mean, I think their ambition coming in, and you have to ask Jim, was to really be physical, to put bodies on guys and try to disrupt them as best they could.
You don't ever want to lose, but if you're going to lose, do you want to have you get another chance to play 2 days from now? Do you like that, the sort of quick way to erase the slate?
Well, I've often said the difference between basketball and football. Football, you lose on Saturday, and you got to sit there all week waiting for next Saturday. One of the nice things about basketball is you better have a short memory, because the next game's coming pretty quick, whether you do really good or do poorly. You know, sometimes you bounce off a really good win and aren't ready to play. So I thought we were ready to play. I mean, if you come in here and you run to the locker room at halftime, you know, basically knotted up, you got 15 minutes to go in the game, and you're tied. I mean, did the guys not show up? No, they showed up. It's just that we ran into an opponent today that did a lot of good things.
Last question for Coach.
Is this an example of how kind of conference play can kind of wipe things clean? I mean, they were coming off a big loss. You guys had been playing pretty well, and then you get an outcome like today. Obviously, they're good at home too, but.
Well, I think one of the things you have to look at with this league is it's foolish for everybody to think that you're going to go unscathed, because even if you just were to, each of you can use your own list of, what, 5 or 6 contenders, you know, all those people can beat each other. And then, of course, as you indicated, that, you know, the home courts are, you know, it's just absolute gold when you can come in and get a win in certain places. We've had a chance over the years to sneak one out of here a time or two, but it's not exactly, you know, on everybody's Christmas list thinking it's going to be the first thing they get under the tree.
Thank you, Coach.